Have you ever wondered if the internet owns you rather than the other way around? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? We live in an age where the internet is an essential part of our lives. It's our go-to source for information, entertainment, and staying connected with others. It's a wonderful tool that has reshaped the way we live and interact. But what happens when this tool begins to control us? Let's delve into the concept of internet addiction. Picture it as an invisible chain that binds us, a chain that we may not even realize we're shackled by. It's an addiction that's easy to overlook because it's woven so seamlessly into our day-to-day lives. It's an addiction that feeds on our compulsion to stay connected, to stay updated, to stay in the loop. And just like any addiction, the first step towards overcoming it is recognizing and understanding it. So what exactly makes the internet so addictive? Why do we feel this irresistible pull towards it? You see, internet addiction shares a lot of similarities with other forms of addiction. It's all about compulsion, that irresistible urge, a craving that can seem almost impossible to resist. This compulsion is what keeps us glued to our screens, endlessly scrolling through our feeds or clicking on link after link. But why? What's at the core of this compulsion? Well, it boils down to the brain's reward system. The human brain is wired to seek and enjoy rewards. It's a survival mechanism that's been with us since our early days as a species. When we do something that our brain perceives as beneficial, it rewards us with a feel-good chemical called dopamine. This dopamine rush gives us a sense of pleasure and satisfaction, and naturally, we want to experience it again. So we repeat the behavior that triggered the dopamine release in the first place. Now here's where the internet comes into play. The internet, with its infinite array of content, is like an endless buffet of potential dopamine triggers. Every new page, every like or comment on our posts, every video we watch, every game we play can give us that dopamine hit. And because the internet is so readily available and the rewards it offers are so immediate, it's easy for us to get hooked. The internet's instant gratification is a powerful lure. It's like a virtual casino where the slot machines are always just a click away. We keep pulling the lever, hoping for that next big dopamine jackpot. But unlike a casino, there's no closing time on the internet. It's always there, always ready to offer us another chance at that dopamine rush. And that's where the danger lies. The dopamine-driven reward system can turn the internet into a virtual casino where we're always just one click away from the next jackpot. Now that we understand the why, it's time to identify the when. When does internet use cross the line into addiction? The signs of internet addiction can be subtle, but they are there if you know what to look for. One of the first indicators is spending more time online than intended. Like a book that you can't put down, the internet can draw you in and keep you engaged for hours on end. You may find that minutes turn into hours, and hours into days as you lose yourself in the digital world. Another sign is the neglect of other aspects of life. This could mean skipping meals, ignoring responsibilities, or even avoiding social interactions to spend more time online. The internet becomes the center of your universe, and everything else fades into the background. Then there's the restlessness and irritability that come when you're unable to use the internet. Just like the craving for a morning cup of coffee, the need to go online can become a physical urge. You may feel anxious, unsettled, and even have trouble focusing until you can get your digital fix. And finally, there's the dishonesty. Lying about the amount of time spent online is a clear indication that internet use has crossed the line into addiction. When you find yourself downplaying your internet use or hiding it from others, it's a sign that you're not in control of your habits. Your habits are in control of you. But here's the thing. Recognizing these signs doesn't mean you're doomed. Quite the contrary. It means you've taken the first crucial step towards regaining control. You've identified the problem, and that's half the battle. Recognizing these signs in ourselves or in others is the first step towards breaking free from the chains of internet addiction. The next step? Taking action. But that's a story for the next scene. Until then, remember, you are stronger than your habits, and there's a whole world out there waiting for you to explore beyond the screen. So we've recognized the problem and understood the why and the when. Now comes the most important part, the how. How do we break free from internet addiction? Well, it's a process and not necessarily an easy one, but it's one that's entirely within your grasp. Let's talk about some strategies. First and foremost, it's about setting limits. It's easy to lose track of time when you're scrolling through social media or exploring the vast realms of the internet. But setting firm boundaries, like limiting your online hours or taking frequent breaks, can help you regain a sense of control. Next, consider finding offline hobbies. There's a whole world out there beyond the screens, full of activities that can engage your mind and body. Maybe it's time to dust off that old guitar or lace up those running shoes. Engaging in physical activities or exploring creative outlets can be a great way to divert your attention from the digital world. Of course, there's no shame in seeking professional help if you feel it's needed. Change is a process, and it rarely happens overnight. You can actually do this. 1. Be aware of how much time you have already spent online. 2. If you've answered to yourself that you've spent too much time online, immediately after realizing this, do something else. For example, take a walk in the park or go biking for an hour. Do something that you should have already done or something you need to do in the near future, which will result in a satisfying result for you, replacing the satisfaction offered by using the internet with something else rewarding. There will be setbacks and tough days, but that's okay. What matters is that you're taking steps towards a healthier relationship with the internet. Remember, the internet is a tool, not a master, and regaining control may not be easy, but it's definitely possible, and the rewards are well worth the effort.